Outstanding tune.
What a tune.
As always, mate. You're listening to the 4th episode of the Sunday Debrief, and this day could not have come soon enough.
It's a little bit delayed from our usual, Wednesday recording, but on a Friday today.
It is a bit. We're on a Friday, so this is only a couple days from when the people will be hearing it, which is it's good, mate. It's good. It keeps things relevant.
It's all about the build up.
It's all about the build up. Look, mate, we've had a huge couple of weeks since the last episode. The standard controversy that we often find ourselves in, bit of scrutiny. That's okay. We're going to have to address that. But on the whole, has it been an exciting couple of weekends?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. The controversy again is something we usually land ourselves in, but as we say, I mean, we're used to it at this point. Any publicity is good publicity. That's as we always say. So we're getting out there, which is a good thing. May not be necessarily for the right things, but I think we got a few things to address today, don't we?
Well, there is. So, as you say, any publicity is good publicity, but sometimes it's not. And a couple of weeks ago, there was a big Saturday night. It was a huge Saturday night for the both of us, actually. And there are some issues that we're going to have to address. So I have prepared a statement, which
written out too.
It's written out, it's printed, and I'm going to deliver it to the audience now. To the patrons of Bar1 and the wider Sunday Debrief community. Today, I wish to formally address and apologise for the events that took place late on the Saturday.
Is this ChatGPT?
No, this was very, very thought out by my own human brain. That took place late on Saturday, the 21st of October, and into the early hours of Sunday, the 22nd of October. After attending the breakwater, I stumbled into the Bar1 premises at what I'm estimating to be between 11 to 11:30 p.m. The great DJ and loyal Sunday Debrief supporter Keegs was on the decks and kindly invited me to join him on the stage. With some time to acclimatise to my new surroundings, as well as what felt like 45 double-shot vodka lemonades that the bartenders kept delivering us, it would seem I became enthusiastic to what I now feel was an unreasonable extent. Unfortunately, even those who weren't at Bar1 at the time were likely aware of my antics, as at last count there were approximately 87.5 Instagram stories posted in the span of an hour across the podcast and my personal accounts. If my calculations are correct, that adds up to me being an insufferable wanker. It only gets worse. In more tragic news, a few days later, I was made aware by a mate who was in attendance on the night that there was a period of time in which I removed my shirt and was waving it over my head on the stage. I believe this was initiated by Keegs, but I didn't need a second invitation to follow suit. The difference is, I'm not actually the DJ, and my job was not to entertain the crowd. I'm also sub 6 foot with limited muscle definition, and it's sure lucky my pants stayed on because I don't think 2 inches is very impressive. That's irrelevant. That detail is completely irrelevant.
Is that why I was in brackets?
No, that's completely irrelevant.
Okay, we'll leave it.
It was quite possibly the worst onstage performance since Meatloaf at the AFL Grand Final, and by far October's most catastrophic event anywhere in the world, including the Middle East. I've never been more devastated to hear about my own actions. This behaviour has led to some scrutiny, and rightly so. It was an error of biblical proportions. It reminds me of that famous line from Hebrews verse 69 where Jesus says, "Get that self-entitled fuckwit off the Bar1 stage." I sincerely apologise to everyone at Bar1 that night, all my friends who feel ashamed to associate with me, my family who are filing my adoption papers, yourself, Regan, for letting down the Sunday Debrief brand, anyone I messaged or attempted to form sentences to that night, Revo Fitness for showing the limited progress I've made in 12 months, and to Prime Minister Albanese for being a blight on this great country. Having said all this, I can't wait to be back there this weekend and do it all again.
That was really well said.
Yeah, thanks.
I wouldn't have put it any better.
Yeah. Look, things happen sometimes, and look, there's nothing you can do to change the past. All you have to do is front up to it. I was open to copying the criticism, I put that on the story. I said, look, guys, this is what's happened. I put out a shortened version of that statement on the story. I said, look, abuse me. And a few people abused me. So we had Rory Jarman said, that's the lowest of lows there, bud. Seriously, grow the fuck up. First the bottle cap, now this. I'm never going to get rid of the bottle cap experience. Vivek Desai, I wasn't there, but quite frankly, I'm going to have to report you for indecent exposure. Which, I mean, I was going to say, it's not as if there was any minors in the crowd, but it is Bar1, so there's every chance that there was. So that's not ideal. Sahib Sandhu, it's just not on, mate. You got invited on the stage of Bar1, not Coachella. Get a grip. Jasmine Barnes, he does this all the time. Don't believe him. That's just an unfounded statement. My brother told me not to come home. My sister told me I'm getting put up for adoption. Some of it was positive, to be fair. I mean, Nick Vlahov just said, I'll make you my naughty little boy. I don't really know where that's relevant, but I'll take it. Jake Kennedy just said, I love you. I love you too, Jake. Georgia Andrews said, this is the best thing I've read all week. We've all been there. So that's nice to hear, you know.
Someone relates.
Someone can relate to the experience. And trust Keith Solly to bring the inspiration, saying, embrace your imperfections. It's what makes life so interesting. Love heart. Thanks for that, Keith. That's
really nice.
Goosebumps,
really nice. We're getting really good at, addressing controversy. So
I think so. So a key stakeholder of this event was Keegs, who was on the decks at the night. And he saw the story and he sent us through his version of events. So he did send through a little voice message. So we'll
give it a listen.
We'll play this now.
Hey boys, how we going? It's currently Wednesday afternoon. I've had a bit of time to reflect on the weekend and all that jazz. And just send a message just to report on Saturday's activities with Fitzy at Bar1. Of course, Regan no show, which is very poor from the other member of the Sunday Debrief. But I'd also like to apologise to Fitzy because I've just seen him post about him taking his shirt off, and I'd like to take some responsibility for that. As when I saw Fitzy at Bar1, I came down off the decks and I brought him up there with me. Thought it'd be a good idea, which it was. It was a good idea. We then proceeded to knock back, I'd say, maybe 8 to 10 drinks in the space of about an hour. And then, I started playing the drum and bass, and then I thought it was a good idea to take my shirt off, and Fitzy followed, also thinking, Fitzy also followed, taking his shirt off, thinking it was a good idea as well, which it was at the time. So I do take some responsibility for that, Fitzy, because we did some serious drinking in some very short amount of time there, which did lead to us taking our shirts off at Bar1, but it is what it is. It was only a brief moment, maybe a minute or two, but the music was good and it was going off, so we should. On your behalf, Regan, disappointed is an understatement. I need to see you there. And you just need to be there. Like, I'm just not happy about it, really. Like, it's really upset me. When I saw Fitzy there and didn't see you with him, I was visibly upset and I wasn't happy. So, just do better, Rugsy, please. For all of us. For all your fans. For Bar1. Just do it. Cheers, boys. Love ya.
Wow. So he's actually been very lenient on me and gone really heavy on you there, mate.
It's just the trend these days, mate. Just things may not involve me, but I always seem to get involved somehow. And it was very blunt and to the point, and I respect the constructive criticism and I'll take it on board, definitely. But I did see this message earlier and I did, send a little bit of a response to it. So I think we might play that instead of me rambling again.
Yep.
Hello, mate. It is very nice to hear from you on this lovely Wednesday afternoon. I'm glad this message has made the cut, and I thought I would address myself now instead of waiting another week to spill the beans on the old weekend. And I'm sure Fitzy will see this and stay his part either now or on the potty. So we'll get started here. Okay, so what was that? Okay, so you're disappointed at me for not making Bar1. Well, first of all, I had the well and good North Beach Korean Cricket Club beer pong night, and I was well and committed to the theme of worst dressed. And as you saw, put a little story out because I was in an immaculate fit, and I was that all in. I was committed. I did not bring any other clothes with me, and because the winner for the worst dressed got 50 bloody bucks, so I was all in for that. And me getting robbed is just another story, so we'll talk about that later. So that is the first reason. The second reason is, unless Bar1 would have made an exception or changed the clothing attire rules to get into the magnificent Bar1, I'm not sure I was getting in a very undersized pair of overalls and just underwear. And that's about it. And, well, take off all the accessories and my reef shoes I had on and my footy socks. In terms of actual clothing, I don't know, unless, they've upgraded the terms and conditions that I haven't read, it probably wasn't a possibility. Yes, you could say the question of, why didn't you bring spare clothes or whatnot? But I was just fully committed in the moment of staying at the beer pong and, first of all, winning the beer pong, which did not happen, robbed again, and winning the worst dressed prize, which I think that last bit cut out, but all I was saying was I was robbed of winning the beer pong and winning the worst best dress. So I can understand the disappointment and the anger towards me, but in the end, there is some valuable lessons to be learned, and that's just what happened during the weekend. And we could bring it up now, or we could bring it up next week, but there is still an elephant in the room that needs to be addressed. But we'll leave that as it is for now, and we'll see what Fitzy has to say.
Okay, so that's a very comprehensive response you've given. Some fair.
I try to tick
balanced.
all the marks in the rubric key, and I think that's a high distinction for that response.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So there's Regan's reason for not being at Bar1 that night. Perhaps it was a good thing, mate. Perhaps you would have found yourself in the same trouble as me if you did. You did mention the elephant in the room. Is it going to be addressed or is it not?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Save it for a later date. That's
Save
okay.
it for a later date.
Okay. So I think that covers that night. Saturday, the 21st of October, early hours of Sunday, the 22nd. I hope we've both covered what needs to be covered and we move on from it.
Both trying to just have some fun and yet again just end up.
Well, that's it at the end of the day. I mean, in the moment in my head, I'm just thinking, what a moment, What a great time I'm having. So look, that's the intentions there, and sometimes it just goes a bit too far, but that's okay. We're still young. So we'll move on. Before we get on to some of our questions, quick shout out. Couple boys at Daisy's on Saturday night, actually, this most recent Saturday night. Which, well, I was also in a complete state. I believe I got on trot from the Beaufort to Daisy's, which that's quite impressive. It's good exercise on a Saturday night. But Thomas Zinni recognized the potty when I was in Daisy's. We did an interview, and then he chucked a message afterwards. He said, "Mate, you boys have the best podcast in Australia. Your content made me crack on TikTok. Had to get a photo." Absolutely awesome. We love to hear that. We love to hear that.
Love it.
And also his friend, Jack Fitzy, who also recognised the potty, and he shouted it out on the TikTok. So absolute legends, those two boys. We hope to see more of it in the future. But moving on.
On to the real content.
Onto the real content. What was our question of the week from last week?
A question of the week that we set off to the audience was for the girls this week. It was, girls, what are things guys say that piss you off?
Well, they needed a right of reply because we banged on about the word slay and, instinct words that females always say. And we thought, well, I'm sure there's stuff that blokes say as well that doesn't go down too well. And, well, according to our responses, there's quite a few of them, actually. So on the Spotify, which you can reply on right there and then, Letitia from Spotify, she says that the worst thing is when a bloke says, "Is it that time of the month?" It's probably fair.
That's probably fair.
Yeah. But, I mean, maybe it's just out of intrigue for their health and their medical cycles. Maybe they're just being a very inquisitive and supportive boyfriend. So it comes down to intentions there,
Yeah.
I think.
That's it. If it's after, maybe a bit of, emotional things going on, it's probably not the right thing to say in that present moment. But if you're just, intrigued about the cycle and intrigued about the body of a woman, I mean,
You got to learn somehow.
you do have to learn. I mean, if you didn't pay attention in sex ed in class, they don't really, for the
gotta-
boys, they don't teach you that sort of stuff.
No, they
so
don't.
you got to find out on your own.
You got to ask the right questions at the right time. So now into the Instagram question tile. We had quite a few on there. So we got them through here. I haven't named them, but the people who are listening will know who they are. Now the first one, this girl doesn't like when a guy says no. That's it.
Oh, well, I mean, there needs to be a bit more content than that, I reckon. It depends what he's saying no to.
Absolutely depends on the context there. I mean, if she means, oh, my boyfriend's not being very supportive, like I need some help, and he's saying no, then probably fair enough. I mean, you need them to be willing to help you out.
Yeah.
If we're talking in the bedroom, then whoever sent this through is up for a lawsuit because that's not on.
Yeah. No means no. That's it.
So clarify that one, please.
100%.
You need to pull your head in there. What's this one?
When they say maybe every time you ask a question and saying yes or no.
Well,
So okay, let's go. Do you want to get one of the famous meat boxes after the old potty session? You go, oh yeah, maybe.
maybe.
Which
Which actually links to one of the other ones actually probably a couple of them. Someone said when they say if you want to, and
Yeah, I
someone
think
said
that's about the same thing.
it's
Yeah.
up to you.
Yeah.
So it's all
I think I'm a bit of a victim of that.
victim of that.
Yeah. Well, not a victim. I mean, I do it.
A
I do it.
perpetrator
A
of that.
perpetrator. I mean, sorry for the wrong use of words there, but yeah, I feel like I don't know, just trying to please the people. Yeah,
Well-
if you want to, mate. Yeah, go on. Yeah, sure.
I don't
mean,
think it's out of bad intention.
No, not at all. But I think, there's sometimes where you need a blunt answer.
You do, well, yeah,
do.
you just need a yes or a no.
Yeah, that's it.
You just need a yeah. No, that's fair. Now we had two people say when the bloke says it's not that deep. Well, a bit of context here. What if you're measuring the swimming pool?
Yep.
What if you're walking into the ocean? Oh, babe, it's not that deep. You can have a swim.
Yeah, have a swim, walk in, goes up to your knees, you'll be right.
Now, if you're talking about emotions, which I'm guessing, I'm guessing this person is referring to these two people actually. So, a girl is upset about a situation that might have happened, maybe something that a guy has said, and the guy just goes, "Calm down, it's not that deep."
You just can't be saying that, can you?
You probably can't.
You can't be saying that. I mean, I don't think it matters what the issue is. I mean, you just got to respect it and just be, accept the emotional distraught it is causing, accept the issue, even if you may not. Yeah, I reckon you just have to say it and just say, you know what? Okay, I respect that, and we'll do better.
Sometimes you have to stand up for yourself, though. To be fair,
100%.
If something you really don't think is a big deal, and you just have to go, well, take a step back. It's really not that deep. Maybe slightly similar here. 3 people. So this is probably the most common one. When a guy says, "relax" / "calm down," just calm down.
I feel like that's something that's said over text a lot. Just the, like you get a massive long paragraph. So, whoa, just relax there.
Steady on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think that's said quite a bit, and I can see how that's taken the wrong way.
No, I think
Definitely.
absolutely. It's probably
Yeah.
again a little bit like it's not that deep.
It's very similar.
Your real gut instinct is that you really want to just be like just pipe down, steady on, but it's not going. Your desired outcome is to settle the situation, and realistically, it's going to do the exact opposite. So,
I feel like that would be the same if it was the other way around as well.
absolutely. Calm down. It's like when Fremantle are losing. Oh, calm down. It's not that deep. It's just a game.
Oh.
Gosh,
It's not just a bloody game. It's my life.
it's an outrageous statement. It's just a game.
was always next week.
Speaking of, this was a bloke who sent this in. When a guy says flag mantle, I don't know if that's targeted. If a girl doesn't like when I say flag mantle, she's not the one. She can find a West Coast fan to marry her because...
You know, we could go all day. It's not just flag mantle. I mean, you got swam,
Crom.
Who else you got? You got the orange team,
The collie wobbles. Yeah.
There's plenty to go around. I mean, flag mantle's one of the better ones for sure. But yeah,
It's not true,
No, definitely not.
but it's good.
It is good.
Someone said when they say, "What do you mean?" even after sending like a whole paragraph explaining what they meant.
That's funny.
At least she's given a bit of context.
That's funny. That's funny.
She's actually said when they say this, but in the context of this. Because sometimes you might just want some clarity, but if there's already been some clarity given and you respond, "Oh, what do you mean?"
I feel like, you know, if you're sending a message, you know, sort of explaining, I reckon voice memos are actual a lifesaver. I reckon because you can't tell the tone over text sometimes.
Tone is critical.
Yeah,
and it is hard to manipulate your tone in writing. You don't want to come across the wrong way. So I think you're right. The voice messages do go
100%.
well.
Yeah.
When a bloke says you're acting crazy,
I think that's probably fair.
Yes, that's probably that's a step further than going calm down or it's not that deep.
Yeah.
That's just that's no fair enough. Yeah, you can't really argue with that one. When a bloke says you should be at home with your boyfriend, not out clubbing, and then tries to get with you. That sounds very specific. I think this is an
personal, you know, occasion here, and that's just probably on the negative riz spectrum. That one, yeah, not ideal. That,
yeah, that's poor form by whoever. Assuming this is a true story, that's pretty funny because obviously this guy is aware that this girl is hitched, and he's gone, "Oh, why aren't you at home?" And then just goes for it anyway.
Shocking.
That's
Shocking.
awful. It's terrible. And finally, actually, when he says she's just a friend, in brackets, no, she's not. Well, maybe she is.
I mean, a bit of context as well. Needs to be a bit of background information. But
this one might be another personal anecdote.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before
we did actually
in a previous episode. I mean, it does get brought up a little bit in the old relationships.
Guy best friends, girl best. And even
100%.
if it's not them like best friends, just someone you're quite close to.
It's got something that's got to. It can't be left. It can't be. It's got to be talked about.
It does. It's all about communication. I think. But if you're close friends with someone before you then date your significant other, then you don't want to leave behind your friends. If you become close with them after, then more questions might start to be raised.
100%. Yeah, it's when like you just see those typical. I think I said this last time. Your typical like your TikToks and like other stuff people making like videos or whatnot of like you got your boyfriend or girlfriend and then like your girl or guy best friend and then like they're just choosing the friend over like the partner.
That's not a great situation.
Yeah, exactly.
So that'd be fair.
Yeah.
And the last one, when they say no, don't touch me there. Now this was not sent from a girl. Funnily enough,
this was
sent
an anonymous
from a
male who just wanted to be included as he likes to be included in many things on this podcast, and just has to feature once again, and we probably won't explain that one anymore. We'll probably leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. Okay, on to the messages we have been sent by the audience, a mixture of questions, a mixture of stories, which is what we love to see. An anonymous one here. You're on a boys' trip and your mate cheats on his missus. Do you tell her behind his back or mind your own business? Added, Regan seems like the kind of bloke to accidentally tell his missus. That seems...
So this is what started off the week. This is what I mean. Like it can end at that. It can end at mind your own business, but Sharpie just had to end. An anonymous male had to, add an extra bit of spice to it. And I just think it's, again, unnecessary. I mean, I thought this stopped, but we have to go another week where it has to be brought up again.
Just copying it.
And it's just not ideal, and it's just not necessary, to be quite honest.
What do you think on the situation, though? So it's a good mate. He has a missus. Assuming this is okay, this is a strong, committed relationship, and you've gone away, and he cheats. Do you tell his missus?
I think, well, if it's a trip, then there's probably multiple. There's not just them two. There's probably
There's probably a few.
I think it just has to be a discussion within the group first. I reckon it just can't be one person. I think at the end of the day, I think
Because first and foremost, you can never, regardless of whether they're your mate, you can never condone the behaviour. I don't think you could. You couldn't justify supporting what he did.
No, not at all.
But would you actually tell her that's the next step?
I think she has to know.
Do you? I mean, maybe it would be the best for both of them. If he's cheating, then he's probably not fully happy in the relationship. Maybe they shouldn't be together. Maybe it would help both of them. But
I think the way it. I think she has to know, but I think the way it's told has to be in a certain way. I don't think like one bloke has to come up to her and be like, "Oh, I saw this," because the first thing is the girl gonna believe him, or is she gonna say, "Nah, didn't happen"? And it's gonna start all this back and forth stuff. Then she's gonna, bring it up on him. But I think it just has to be a group decision and find like.
But it could definitely rupture the friendship group as well. This could have serious repercussions.
Yeah, that's
with
true.
your mates, and it might be one of your best mates.
Yeah, so I don't think it can be one individual to bring it up. I think
you've got to talk to the person, the bloke himself about it. Why have you done this?
100%. There's got to be a bit of communication between everyone, a bit of a debrief, and then come up with a solution. Definitely.
Because, I mean, the easiest thing to do would be, okay, it's none of my business. I don't have to get involved. We're going to leave it at that. We're going to let him get on with his life. Maybe it's a big moral. The moral thing to do probably would be to let her know, because it was an immoral thing that your mate did.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one. But we're saying that through a meaningful process, she is going to have to find out that this has happened.
100%. Yeah.
Right.
So to continue on that last comment, for Regan seems to be the kind of bloke to accidentally tell his missus. No, I would not accidentally tell, but yes, I would come to a conclusion to figure out a statement to put out. So thanks, Anonymous. You were not really correct, but I appreciate the effort.
Fair. Moving on, Isaac Bradford, the great man. This was just kind of a statement. There was a little bit of context to it, but look, Isaac said he's referring to myself. Keen to get my little boy back into his prime. All the cults at Quinn's miss the real him. The thing that makes me happiest is seeing you out in your prime. And, mate, I appreciate that, Isaac. I would argue that I never came out of my prime, actually. I mean, I think I've continued as I left off. But, no, I do appreciate it, and I can't wait to get back out with it.
Yeah.
I'll be getting on it with him this week. And
then 19, 20, you'd be flat if you're hitting, the downfall of your career at that sort of age. I mean, you should be hitting, going towards your peak. So, yeah, it's good to hear, though. That's a nice little message. Yeah, isn't it?
The next couple are... I'd love to keep reading these next couple just because they're actually directed at you, mate. So
you keep reading this, mate.
It's not directed at you. I'm going to read this out first. Hey, boys. Was watching a game of community cricket on the weekend at a local park. Anyway, needed to drop the kids off at the pool, so I went to the toilet, only to find two people on the floor putting the banana in the fruit salad. I said, hurry up. I need a Brad Pitt. So that's been sent in by Mr. Wayne Spear. I believe happens to be your father.
An anonymous father. Yeah, that did help, and he came down to the old cricket oval on the Saturday, and had a bit of a story to tell after the game.
It's not what you want to see in the public toilets, is it?
No, it's not at all. He fair to say he held in that Brad Pitt of his. So yeah.
I don't know why they needed to when they could have stepped outside and watched your orgasmic batting performance instead.
Yeah, I didn't bat.
Okay, moving on. Liam Silsby Congratulations to Regan Spear on his first career piss stick. Well done, Regan. Keep up the great work. Going to need a bit of explanation on this one.
Well, by the tone of this is just purely taking the absolute piss. First of all, Liam, I want to direct you, individually here. It was not my first career piss stick. If anyone doesn't know about the old piss stick, it's
There's actually a video of it. There's a video of,
there's a video
of a couple young men.
I haven't seen this.
You recognise a couple of those faces.
Yep, recognise that guy. Yep.
So Liam said,
So that is
that's a piss stick.
that's obviously not me. That's the great Josh Bruce, whose birthday it was on the weekend. So that's the piss stick, sort of whatever you call it, object. And so you fill your drink up with that. And no, it was not my first one, Liam. They're just trying to take the piss, saying it's my first one, and sort of thing. So I had a couple of them, and he's just taken the absolute piss out of me, because considering he had actually never had one.
Well,
And I don't think
that's
even,
bold.
come to think of it, I don't even know if he has had one.
Wow.
I didn't even think he had one on the weekend.
He's a piss stick virgin.
Piss stick virgin, and just not ideal, Liam, at all. And just, it's kind words in the end that you're saying, keep it up, congratulating me, but we all know it's a piss take, mate. Come on, Liam. Come on, brace.
All right, got a good story here. I think I'm gonna need you to read this one, because this is based on myself, I believe. Sent in from Saab Sandy. Great man, great supporter. So I think you're gonna need to recollect my Friday night for me here, mate.
Where is this?
Oh, there you go.
It's not up on my sheet, mate. Oh, here we go. All right, from Sahib Sandhu. Here's a good one about last weekend. It was a calm night in Perth, with an F. We're in the city sinking some beers with Fitz's uni lecturers. Who was down there?
It was a showing for our documentary unit, and then the movies got shown on the Yagan Square Tower. So we all
real?
sunk beers on the balcony at the shoot.
Oh, nice. My classes did that. Told Fitz to ask him for an extension of an assignment. Proof that journalism's a joke. Yeah, probably fair. Anyway, we've sunk 10 pints off the south coast, and we head to Freo. Land of the brave, home of the homeless, okay? We get to Metros to watch no one else but old Mervs. We're buzzing off a few pints, ready to chop up in Freo. We go to buy some drinks and have the bright idea to continuing sinking beers in the club. So we choose none other than Coronas to continue sinking. That's a great choice. So there's
$12 bottles of Coronas. A bit of a rip-off.
$12.
Yeah. It's all right.
So
Got to do.
the other prices of the other beverages there must have been absolutely skyrocketing.
Oh, that would have been extortionate.
if
Yeah,
you'd
we'll
gone
get
for
to
the
that.
Coronas.
I had to spend it.
So we're in the mosh sinking some Coronas to the pre-act. Rah Rah Viper.
They're a good band. They're a band.
Oh, I was like, what is Rah Rah Viper? When all of a sudden our glasses are empty. Was there a hole in them, mate?
Evaporated. Warm day.
Can't be having that, so I say Fitz and I go to the bar to restock them. Mate, this needs to be spread out.
It's an outrageous paragraph.
Outrageous paragraph. All right, we need to clip that up a bit. We're mid-convo and we notice a girl staring at us like she's interrupting us. We say, you're right. Next minute, Fitzer is on Riz with this lovely woman from some buttfuck town 4 hours away. Anyway, after some Fitzgerald Riz, she hanging out with us on the D floor after we enjoy old Merv's great act. The girl sees her friends, then comes back up to Fitzy and says, my friend, ugly classic Stitch Up, is giving me a lift home and I've got to go. I look at Ronan. He's distraught. He's never financially recovered from the 3 drinks he brought this girl. Words that come out of his mouth were words completely against... What is that? Sharia law. Anyway, long story short, be careful who you buy drinks for, as they're not always going to get a cuddle goodbye.
Yeah, look, tough experience, mate. Holly, if you're listening,
name, Holly?
That was her name, yeah.
Yeah.
Holly, if you're listening, if they've discovered electricity in your town, if you're listening to this, then I never will financially recover from the 3 vodka lime sodas that you well, I say requested. I offered, to be fair. And we enjoyed the concert. She had lost her friends. She was 4 hours away from home. I said, you know what?
I will drive you that 4 hours
oh,
home.
After 15.
Under the influence.
I'll do whatever it takes, Holly. And then she found her mates and she threw it back in my face. Well, she didn't. She was very kind about it, but still. It's okay. Things happen, mate. You win some, you lose some, but it wasn't the way to end the experience. Ah, well. Maybe one day we'll reunite.
I actually do have that story in my run sheet, by the way. I've just split it up so I wouldn't stuff up. So I was actually prepared. I've got it in 4 small paragraphs instead of one big one. I stuffed up about 45 times there. So, and I've actually split up all the other stories as well. So hopefully it went stuff up there.
Okay.
So there we go.
Speaking of the other stories, moving on. The Bar1 story competition, as we've been talking about, big partnership with the greatest nightclub in Australia. And we have a competition. The best Bar1 stories, we'll pick the best one every week and they win a $50 bar card. Tell you what, mate, we had some absolutely outstanding recollections of Bar1 experiences.
Absolute crackers. I mean, it can be from the past, weekend or fortnight. It just could be an archival story that's stuck in the back of the mind. So any story, we appreciate everyone reaching out. And I think the people are ready to win the $50 bar card.
Absolutely. Let's get started. So we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 entries this week. Absolutely outstanding for the first edition of Bar1 story competition. Ethan Bingham. He actually sent this in a couple of weeks ago, but we delayed it because we weren't starting the comp till this week.
Getting in early.
Hey, I have a story about Bar1. It was quite a while ago, but it was a Saturday night and there was a big fight outside between these two guys. One of them was really getting into the other, and then all of a sudden, the other guy picked up the dude beating him and just absolutely smashed the guy onto the floor by throwing him so hard. You could hear the sound when he hit the ground. It was so loud. The guy was bleeding so much, but he just shook it off like nothing had happened. Then everyone just went their separate ways because the fight ended. Well, I'm glad they came to a civil resolution.
I mean, the viewers got bang for their buck. And like, all right, the show's over. We'll go back inside. I mean, hopefully all is solved between that little conviction there.
Yeah, I suppose that's what blokes do sometimes. They have a disagreement.
Things gets a little bit heated.
And then, look, bit of NHL action. Drop the gloves, throw the fists. Whoever wins, and shake hands and move on.
Shake hands and move on. Go back in Bar1. So
it's not the advised method of conflict resolution, but it's out there. It's a method.
Yeah, definitely.
This one's. Might need you to elaborate on this.
From Raz Clothier, he said, Rugsy, I got run over by a car outside Bar1. Well, Raz, that's not ideal.
It's not what you want.
I mean, it's within the vicinity of Bar1, so I mean, it goes through the terms and conditions to enter. And I mean, well, we need to know who was at fault here.
Well, that's when I saw this, because he specified Rugsy, I got ran over. I was like, were you involved in this? Were you the driver?
No.
Were you there? No.
Oh, I might have been. I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, hopefully
Maybe
not.
you were driving Holly home after 4 hours under the influence. You had to get in the car. So you're actually not sure about
No,
the
I'm not sure about
now?
this. No, not at all. I think it's just something unfortunate that's happened outside of Bar1 in that, Hillary's car park. Gets a bit hectic out there.
It can. Ubers everywhere.
Yeah, maybe Raz was trying to, cool down the Uber and he's just gone, nah, fuck you, you're not my rider, just run him over.
Unlucky Raz. Give us if you can resend that as another entry next week, I think. If you give us the full context of that.
100%.
I mean, if he survived it, assuming he survived it. I mean, he wrote us a message.
Well, you'll hope so, unless...
But who knows? Delayed concussion. Okay, we have an anonymous one here sent through our email, which is a more than valid way of contacting us, at thesundaydebrief@gmail.com. She has said, before I moved far away from Bar1, it was my home every Friday and Saturday night. It has a special place in my heart. In my single hoe phase, I used to do what I'd call free nights out at Bar1. I would go on a Friday when entry was free, then would flirt with guys to get free drinks. One time I was so successful at my craft that I managed to get 10 drinks from 10 different guys in one night. Squad wipe.
Second one of the Sunday debrief.
I figured out that the trick was to stand a bit back from the bar and wait for a friend. wait in brackets, and the guys would approach you. They would offer to buy me a drink, then I'd chug it once they had and tell them I'd see them on the dance floor. I never did. I did this a few times and saved a lot of money. Bar1 taught me how to commit fraud. See, that's... What's the opposite of patriarchy?
The old Google search we'll have to do. That's
That's a thriving example of matriarchy.
matriarchy.
It's an unfair world, isn't it?
It's an unfair world. I mean, she's done really well. She's perfected the craft, to be fair. Perfected the craft. But, I mean, just...
I mean, we talked about it earlier. If we try that, I mean...
We find ourselves on the weather app and the calculator. We're practicing our times tables all night.
I mean, that's less about the structure of society and more about the fear of women talking to them. That's okay. That's something to work on. But look, the weather app does end up getting pulled out when you get to the bar.
Yeah.
You go, geez.
Yeah. Yeah, weather is changing in Singapore at the moment.
What's the air quality in Rio de Janeiro? I'd love to find out. The Bar1 line is exactly where you want to find out.
But 10 drinks from 10 different guys. That's in one night. That's wow. That's
I mean, I wonder if she's linked to a hostel in Prague.
You never know. It's bang for your buck.
Bang for your buck. Squad wipe and a half. Jesse Meister. What's Jesse Meister saying? In the meantime, I'm going to find this video.
All right, I'll do it. Bar1 story. A girl was vomiting in the smokers area right next to me in my friend group. Everyone was laughing and moved away from her, but I felt so horrible. I knew that if I was her, I want someone to help me. Fair enough. So I held her hair back while she puked all over the floor. No idea what her name was and never saw her ever again.
Tell you what, Jesse, you're a pillar of the community.
Good Samaritan.
Absolutely.
Very good Samaritan.
What a human.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see people in an absolute state, whether that be at Bar1, whether that be anywhere on the streets, and quite often you'll be with your mates and you'll look at them and you kind of just point at them and you'll laugh at them. And if you're in that position, you just need someone to help.
Yeah,
so
that's it. Just takes one. I'm sure that girl remembers you vividly.
Yeah,
and it's a good core memory.
Good stuff, Jesse. Keep plugging away at being a great person. Now Campbell Darby, he just sent through us a video of his experience at Bar1, front stage for chilling it. I mean, doesn't get much better than that.
He's within an arm's reach there. I'll tell you what.
Touching distance of
it's not a
bad
scene at all. What time did he get there? 11 a.m. Might have stayed the night.
Never a bad time to start lining up for Bar1.
No, not at all.
So
pack your sleeping bags, get your pillow, and just be there. And Jesse, oh no, not Jesse. Sorry, who was that? Campbell. Well, that's commitment right there, and that's that's front stage for you.
Yeah, good stuff, Campbell. Keep enjoying the exhibits that Bar1 keeps producing. So they are a few outstanding entries into the Bar1 competition.
They were all very good.
But there can only be one winner.
There was one that just topped them all.
There can only be one winner of the $50 bar card, and this might just be the worst but the best story we've ever been sent.
I read this and I was still amazed and just in shock about how this all came about, and I think it is a well-deserved winner.
So she's asked to remain anonymous to the public, but we will make sure she receives her bar card. Here we go. So I just had a baby 2 months ago. So as usual, I produced breast milk. I wasn't aware. I'm female now. I mean, that's why you have to ask questions.
Good to know. Yep.
So good to know. Anyway, I went to Bar1 with my partner and got drunk as you do at Bar1. We were dancing on the dance floor and I had the silly idea of spraying people with my breast milk. Because if you didn't know, the milk literally shoots out like a fucking Nerf water gun.
I wouldn't know that, no.
What a breast. Would not have a clue. Never seen the bloke.
Nerf for nothing.
I obviously whip out my nipple very subtly and shoot some guy with it right on the back of the neck. He turns around trying to see what just shot at him. I obviously just casually start dancing around, acting natural. He's looking confused as fuck, but he brushes it off. I do the same thing like 3 times to the same guy, and each time he gets more confused and frustrated. At the time it was hilarious, But now I kind of feel bad for him. But till this day, he will never know. Well, now he does.
Now he does.
Now he does.
Oh, I can't believe that. Imagine just the, to be fair, the accuracy and precision and the reload was absolutely acceptable.
How's the stamina?
The stamina's good. Got a couple rounds of bullets in there.
From my understanding of anatomy, it's one shot and you're done. And that's but
There you go.
fair play to Anonymous. I mean, you mentioned it when we read this. You were like, how's the going back out to Bar1 2 months after giving birth?
I don't know. Maybe did they do the what's that bloke's name in The Hangover? How they have like the front on like baby pouch thing, like have the ID. Might have got let in.
Get a fakie.
Yeah, get a fakie.
That's outstanding parenting.
Outstanding parenting. You know, probably left it with the old grandparents and just said, you know, I've had enough, and tonight we're going to Bar1 and we're going to spray some people with some breast milk.
Yeah, look, I mean, she said she's with her partner, so that obviously wasn't her intention. But I mean, as a girl, that's not the typical Riz method, is it?
No,
Like, that's not how you normally get a guy's attention. I wouldn't know. They don't try and get my attention.
Imagine what the guy's thinking is. Maybe it's a drink, but who is having milk at Bar1?
A vodka milk. How much does that cost? So yeah, look, Anonymous is just squirting around her homemade vodka milk and got away with it. And now she sent it into the Sunday debrief, and she's just won herself a $50 bar card because that is hard to top.
She must have knew this sort of collaboration event was coming, because that's $50 worth right there.
Unreal. Absolutely outstanding. Thank you for that. Thank you to everyone who sent in their Bar1 story entries. As we say, this is going to be happening every episode. And I think we still have some exciting stuff elsewhere happening at Bar1. As long as we haven't lost that license after my antics the other week. I hope that hasn't ruined relations.
Guess
anyway,
we'll find out.
Time to move on to the audio messages.
Do it.
So we've got a couple. The first one is a familiar voice, because he likes to send something in every time he goes out, which is fair.
Is this of you?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Not this
No,
time. Okay.
I wasn't involved in this one. I think he was at Bar1 on the night. But this is a third entry from Mason Leckius.
I'm back at Bar1. Say hi, Zachy boy. Yo, Ronan, my boy. Say hi, Sharpie. Hey, Fitzy. We got one thing to say. Fuck Rory. Fuck Rory. Fuck that cunt. I fucking hate Rory.
Rory Jarman lives rent-free in this bloke's head every time.
There must be something going on here,
brilliant.
but
I think Rory is right to reply here.
100%. There has to be an official statement from Rory at
probably
this
has
point, because this is probably the third or fourth time he's been abused and just brought up when maybe is it necessary?
I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. We need the backstory to this. But look, because it might happen once. That's a one-off. Oh, something's happened. I'll throw an inside out. 2 times starts to become a theme. This is just bullying. This is just.
We may need to check on Rory, see how he's doing.
We need to check. Check on Rory. I hope he's dealing with this okay. But we'll get to the bottom of that situation. The other one is Xavier Canane. A first entry from Xavier. I think he's a long-time listener.
Long-time listener, first-time
contributor.
Good
on him. Let's have a listen.
Hey boys, just thought I'd send in a voice message here just to save Regan the hassle of having to read it and save the podcast some time with him stuttering and whatnot. With it being summer, festival season's upon us, how do you blokes feel about girls and guys getting on people's shoulders right in front of your fucking face? What do you do about it? And how do you tackle it? Personally, not a fan. Let me know, boys. Thank you.
It's a good question, actually.
It's a great question. And thank you, Xavier, for saving us a couple hours of editing there. Really nice. Really nice.
Very well articulated.
I saw a video, actually, I think it came up on my Instagram. It was, like a festival. There was people on guys and girls' shoulders and whatnot. Massive crowd. And some guys just pushed them. And there was like a 10-pin bowling. There was about 10 people that just fell over, and he just had a whole spot to himself, and he was just celebrating. So, I mean, it hopefully doesn't have to come to that point.
That's
But
probably not the way to solve it.
there has to be a solution, surely, because no one's Victor Wembanyama and 7'3" that can see over them. You know what I mean? Us, vertically challenged people, just pushing, 5'3", 5'4". We need to get some viewing.
See, because I'm trying to think. I've been on the shoulder. I'm sure I have once or twice, and I've offered the space on my shoulders to others. And I mean, it's fun. It adds to the experience. Come to think of it, I definitely have been up there. And when you're up there, it's a great view. But it does come at the expense of people behind you. So I think it's okay, but only 30 seconds. 30 seconds and done.
Okay. Yep.
So
I can't say I don't think I've ever been up or had anyone on my shoulders. I mean, if I had someone on my shoulders, would have to probably weigh about 3-4 grams.
The shoulders are sore. Well, your shoulders are sore from what? Carrying the North Beach Korean Cricket Club, just
mate,
winning games off your own
winning
bat.
games off my own bat. I don't think I've batted in the last 3 games, but yeah, I mean, and I'm going away this week, so I'm not playing. So that's another DNB. But look, whatever the team needs. I mean, we're 3-0.
Yeah,
I was going to put something out on the debrief. I think our top 3 teams are all 3-0. So
okay.
I mean, we're on for champion club at this point.
And when you go away, if they lose this week, then there's only one.
A message will be sent to the group chat. That's for sure. 100%.
It's clearly this is the difference. But sorry Xavier, we sidetracked there. But look, mate, to answer your question, it's probably okay for a limited time, but we understand your frustration with it.
100%.
No one wants their complete view blocked. For the benefit of someone else's superior view.
Yeah, that's it.
Alrighty, on to the quickfire questions, which is a great segment.
Wonder what's in store this week.
Where we chuck it up on the story. We chucked it up about, I don't know, when we were having coffee at the great
2 hours ago.
Rowing Pavilion, couple hours, and then we don't have a look at them. So having a quick check
Got a
now.
few
Looks
there.
like, yeah, we got a few. Not as many as usual sometimes, but that's okay.
Friday, earlier morning.
True.
On the Friday, people are doing their tradie, electrician, and whatnot. So
That's okay. We'll kick it off.
I mean, what's the time now? 10:30. They're definitely on Smoko by now.
Tradies, lazy. Cameron, Kiss. You're at the gym and your headphones break, run out of charge, etc. Do you stay or go? This is a full
very
circle moment.
This is a very relevant question. So I was at the gym on, what was it, yesterday?
Yeah.
And just my lovely beats from Thailand, which cost me about $3. They served me well, but then all of a sudden pulled them out of my bag and they just snapped in half. I was like, okay, well, wouldn't wish, going to the gym without music on my worst enemy. So I was going to go up to the front desk and be like, you guys got any, tape? Preferably like that brown, like sport tape, bit of endurance in that, but they only had sticky tape. So I did a couple rounds of that, hoping it would work. And actually one of the Revo members there, one of the staff members said, oh, that's one for the Sunday debrief. And I'm like, what? Sort of caught me off guard a bit. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm Fitzy's mate. I'm like, oh, that's fine. That's fantastic. So we're getting around even to Revo gym, and fair to say that sticky tape did not last my headphones very much and ended up just chucking them in the bin. So, can you repeat the question?
Well, to be fair, you've answered the question that you try and stay rather than go.
Oh, you're 100%.
But only if you can fix them. The full circle moment here, mate, is that this Cameron is a great man, did actually tell me he was trying to get a job at the gym, so this quite possibly was the man that tried to fix your headphones.
Yeah.
This would make sense now.
Yeah, 100%.
And moving on.
All right, moving on. Jana, it's illegal to drive with someone in the boot, right? Question mark.
Well, according to Australian federal law, it's pretty.
Well, it is legal till you get caught.
That's it. We're talking about that. I mean, at the end of the day, all road laws are just guidelines.
Yeah.
They're theoretical. Don't really exist until you're apprehended for them.
I mean,
because jail is a real place.
Yeah, it is. And I think it depends on the situation as well. I mean, I have travelled in the boot. I think maybe 1 or 2 times. Yeah, I mean, it's quite cozy in there. You get to know yourself pretty well. But yeah, I mean, depends on the occasion, and it depends if you're actually, if you're physically stuffing someone in there who doesn't want to go on the boat, or someone willingly, puts their hand up and takes one for the team and, travels in the boat for the trip.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think so. I think officially, probably not legal, but
Yeah.
sometimes you got to.
Probably not if you're driving down to Bustleton on a trip there and back.
That's
probably not. Probably not.
Yubsy, what is the best type of beer in terms of airport beer? Beer after a hard day's work, Sunday beers. So more, what's the best time for a beer? What's the best context for a beer? There's never a bad time for a beer. I think after cricket beers actually or after footy beers, after a win.
Yeah.
I think after a sporting win, those beers they feel so well deserved.
100%. And I mean, even the other way around, like the depression just hits even harder after you lose and you're having a beer. Like what could have been. So that definitely hits a lot different in terms of what have we been having recently after. We've been having single fin recently after. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of single fin. I'm really not. I'd have it, but I mean,
it's just been what's there recently.
It's just what's there, and I mean, I'll take it.
That's fair.
I'll take it.
Yeah. No, after sporting games, those beers.
And even at a fantastic, long, hard-working shift at Domino's Junior Lab, who I think informally requested a shout-out. They did. So shout out to Domino's Junior Lab, the home of pizza. So if you're looking to get a nice pizza or even a pasta or some sides, that's the place to be. A nice hard shift on there on a Friday night after it just hit so differently.
It would.
Yeah.
You clock off at 8 o'clock, you get home and you go, look, all these pizzas I've delivered to people drinking beers and now I get to have my own.
Yeah, that's it.
It's awesome. All right.
Let's do it. What's next? Nick Vlahov, why do I have this one? Wouldn't it be weird if one of your mates had a crush on your sister/mum or prefer the fam over you?
Because I don't.
Because I don't know how to tell my mate. Oh, Nick. Okay. I think for blokes, I think it's like it comes off like there's a bit of a piss take around like especially if they got a sister or like a mum or whatnot. I don't think it's generally like serious and like I think it's generally like a bit of a piss take, but it seems Nick here is
this one's real
on a different level. Yeah, I don't think there's anything. I mean, can't help what your heart desires. Yeah.
I look, Nick. I'm not going to answer that one, to be honest, mate. I think you've made your intentions clear. Because I don't know how to tell my mate. Well, you already have, mate. So.
Oh, is this you?
Well, quite possibly. Moving on, Aaron. Aren't these meant to be on a Wednesday? Yeah. Well,
there's no set day. I mean,
as long as they're out by the Sunday.
There's a timeline that's just indefinite submission. So I mean, would you rather have it out or not? That's the thing. Would you rather just not have it or just have it late on a Friday?
So yeah, look, Aaron. I mean, ideally, probably Wednesday is the go-to, but
things pop up in life, don't they, mate?
Any time before a Sunday, mate, and we're happy. This is one for you to answer, mate. This is great.
Oh, will Regan be at Bar1 soon from Keegs?
I'm sure I'd say.
Bar1 soon. Well, unless there is a Bar1 in Simonyak, Bali. You never know. Maybe. But yeah, I'm off to Bali for the next 2 weeks. So that counts me out for 2 weeks unless, something's brewing over there, new bar 2 venue. But I don't know, quite possibly. You never know. You never know. I'm gonna keep the viewers waiting, and you never know. I might pop up out of nowhere.
give them a surprise.
But there's no schedule at this point. No schedule.
Izzy Marshall, worst rejection stories. I just saw this one as you were saying that. I was trying to run through my head. See, I mean, you actually have to talk to women to get rejected, which is a tough stage actually. Why girls aren't interested in Singapore's weather is beyond me. You bring the weather or maths. Bring your calculator up, BIMDAS. And they just don't seem to get around it.
No.
But no, I was trying to run this one through my head. Worst rejection stories. Do you have any off the top of your head? No, mate. You're too smooth.
Maybe this is the audience question.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that one. That's this week's audience story. We'll put it out. Worst rejection stories, and that'll give me a little bit of time to conjure up something
100%.
that's a few things that have happened in my past.
Perfect.
Caleb Gray, he said, I saw him at Old Mervs and he said, surely I get a feature on the Sunday Debrief because I saw you. Absolutely, mate. Absolute hero. He put on the story last episode that he was watching it on his Sunday hangover, and that's what we love to see. So
that was a good setup, that.
It was.
I rated it highly.
Big up Caleb Gray. He wants to know, how do you feel about Whiskey Tuesdays?
Whiskey Tuesdays? Where are they holding that? Or is that just the household?
Has he's just come up with it? How do I feel about it? I'm open to it, the idea.
Whiskey Tuesdays. Yeah, I mean, sounds like something. It's only individual him involved in Whiskey Tuesdays at the moment.
He's trying to bring
he's trying to bring it up. Okay, that's fair enough.
I mean, it's normally when you come up with something like that, it has a ring to it, like Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, I would accept Whiskey Wednesdays, but I mean, he's trying to be different.
Whiskey Tuesday. I mean, he's just come up with a random alcoholic beverage and picked one of the 7 days of the week and gone, this is a concept. Let's see what they think.
Shoot for the stars.
I love it, Caleb. I absolutely love it. I'm personally not a fan of whiskey, to be honest.
Whiskey, no.
Even with ice in it, it's just a struggle to get it down. To be honest,
never know. This might be the new thing, Whiskey Tuesdays. So we'll have to give it a try. I'm sure.
You know what, Caleb? Next in the coming Tuesdays, we'll set up an event at your house because you had the perfect setup. We'll watch the Sunday Debrief and we'll drink whiskey. Sounds like a plan. Looks like the last one.
This is the last one. Okay. From Binger Stinger.
It's a great username.
Okay. Thanks, Binger. Regan, listen to your misso, bro, and come back to Ocean Ridge Cricket Club? ?
Wow.
Okay. Binger, first of all, you're not there anymore. You're at Scarborough, so I don't know why you want me to come back. And it's actually quite
Brett Lee's taking a fall. Why is Binger at the Scarborough Cricket Club?
Binger, well, Binger, fantastic bloke, wicket keeper, but it's like, nickname Binger. He's like, I need to take the gloves off and just send them down. So he's just decided to do that. Moved to Scarborough and just sending them down now. So good on Binger for that. And actually quite a coincidence because we are playing Ocean Ridge this week, which was my former club. So, and I am away.
You're missing it.
I'm missing it, which is a bit
that pre-planned. You didn't want to cop the chat.
No, I don't mind the chat, to be quite honest. I didn't mind the chat. I mean, I've copped it all this year. I'm not even versing Ocean Ridge. But again, yeah, I mean, old cricket club. I mean, half the guys that are in our team now are from Ocean Ridge, so it's always a bit of a rivalry there. And will they come back? We'll see. We'll see how the weekend goes. Yeah. We'll see how the weekend goes.
Do one last refresh to see if we've got any late ones. Looks like that's about it for now. So if any of them come through late, we'll pass them on to next week. In fact, that was what I was meant to do last week.
There were
a couple late ones. I don't know if I can quickly go into this. See if there's any good ones to put up. Okay, so yeah, I've just found last episode's one. There were a couple late ones.
Yeah.
Cam Joseph says, Regan, when are you going to get a decent haircut?
Cameron. That is my cousin that I'm somehow related to. He. Look, just chirping me once again. He's up the chirp ever since he's become a police officer. So now he's chirping me, and he knows I can't chirp him back, otherwise he'll arrest me. So again, Cam, just maybe show up to a family function or two, and be the better spear at indoor cricket because I'm absolutely chopping him up at the moment. So he needs to pipe down a little bit.
Angus Mazur.
All right, Angus. Too Fitzy, would you call yourself a Bar1 merchant?
Maybe a Bar1 embarrassment. Maybe banned from Bar1. Mate, look, I do love the place, and I invariably end up there most Saturday nights. That's just how it goes. But look, we'll see over the next couple of weeks if I can find the happy medium of loving Bar1 and taking advantage of the advantages that were being offered without being a complete flog, then maybe we can work towards being a Bar1 merchant. And last one, Spencer Hurst. Is it wrong of me to enroll someone in the military after they scammed me? I did it.
I feel like we did this one last time, or maybe not. Maybe I just read it. I'm not sure. We'll go through it again, though. Spenny, is it wrong? I mean, there's no really rules and regulations in there.
Look,
It's
conscription was once a thing. They didn't even have to scam you. They just had to be alive.
Yeah.
And they were enrolled in the military.
Yep. So that's it. Maybe someone needs to get their head screwed in. So
Fair play.
I mean, fair play. I mean maybe that's an idea I've certainly never thought of before. But obviously, being on Spencer's mind a little bit, if someone, ripped into him a little bit, then we'll just send him off to the military.
It's good, mate. It's character building.
Yeah.
Alrighty, that does cover us for both this week and last week. And it's been an outstanding experience, as always, mate.
Just episode 4, mate. Can't ask for much more. I mean, content's unreal. Once again, we've had the Bar1 stories for the first week. Question of the week's going off again. And it's just going to only be better from here. Onwards and upwards. A little bit over the next few weeks. Obviously, you're off to Bali, mate. I'm sure you're going to have some outstanding experiences sharing with the audience what's going on 100%. In Bali. We'll have to sort something out, whether I send in a couple of videos or whatnot, what's going on, keep the audience updated. But yeah, nice little well-deserved trip, I reckon. Absolutely. Yeah. And then you'll come back just in time for us to record our usual fortnightly episode before I go off to Bali for a couple of weeks as well. Yeah. And then come December, we have some massive things planned. We're going onwards and upwards to a new level in December. Yeah. We've got potential weekly episodes coming up. We've got potential live show, possibly. So much on the cards. It's just too much to discuss at this point. There's a lot going on. Some purchases are being made to then get distributed to the community. It's just. I wonder what that might be. Can't wait. Yeah. Cannot wait, mate. So, as always, thank you for tuning in to the Sunday Debrief. Thank you for your entries, for your ongoing, unconditional support, and can't wait to see you in another couple of weeks. That's it. We appreciate every single one of you, and it's still it's all a bit of disbelief, when someone sees you out, or whatever, out and about, and they're like, "Oh, Sunday Debrief," you're like, still catches me a bit off guard a bit, but it's just it's nice. It's nice we've got a growing community. It is, and it's only growing by the people for the people, mate. That's it. Take care, guys. F4 in the books.